We are here to check off a major bucket list item, top of the list.
Nothing has gone right on this trip, or gone as we had thought on this trip at all.
It's an exciting day here at the campsite. We are back in our former home state of Washington, and it feels so good to be back.
I'm so happy.
We spent the last couple of days in Spokane checking out the city. We went to a few coffee shops. And we hung out with a few friends and went apple and peach picking, and it was so much fun.
It was a blast. We made an apple pie and a peach crisp, and with some ice cream, of course, and it was delicious. Shout out and big thank you to Emily and Birdie for hosting us and showing us around. Y'all are the best. We had so much fun with you. Now in Leavenworth, Washington, which is one of our favorite places in Washington. It's this little Bavarian village right by the mountains, just super cute. You almost feel like you've been transported to Europe. We actually did a vlog on Leavenworth a while back, so we'll link to that below if you have yet to see it. Definitely check it out. We came here last time at Christmas, which is so magical.
Yeah.
It is awesome. But this time we are here for a very special reason.
We are here to check off a major bucket list item, top of the list that we've had ever since we moved here to Washington. And it's a very difficult hike to do and to get access to with the permits and all that jazz, but it is called the Enchantments.
We're so excited! So for the next 3 days, we're gonna be backpacking with 4 friends all through the Enchantments, and we'll cover a little bit more about the hike and how we got permits later, but we are just so excited. However, we have no idea what to expect. We've heard it's hard. We saw in the forecast it may rain. It may snow. And it's gonna be really cold. So yeah, it's gonna be a really interesting next few days. We have no idea what to expect from this vlog, but we really wanted to document it, share it with all of you, because it's just such a big, exciting thing for us to go do. But we have yet to eat dinner or pack, and we have a very early wake-up call, so we're gonna get going, but we'll see you in the morning.
See ya. All right, it's 6 a.m. We are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. We are driving to Stewart and Kolchak Lake Trailhead to meet half of our group. There's 2 trailheads that you can start from, so we're gonna take the van to one of them, and then our friends are gonna drive us to the other one, and that's where we'll start.
And we're off! This is our crew for the weekend. We have Jeffrey, Yvonne, Christy, the woman of the weekend, and Jackson. So a little bit of backstory on this hike. In 2018, I don't know the 2019 stats, 17,500 people applied for permits to this area of the hike called the Core Zone, which is supposedly the most beautiful part. There's tons of lakes, and it's more central too, so it's like the best spot to stay in. And only 700 something people got them. So it's like 4% or so. It's really competitive. So 4 of us, so Yvonne, Jeffrey, me, Adam, we all tried to get permits. We all got denied. And then Christy, like the last day that the permits were open, decided to apply for 6 permits, and we ended up getting permits for the Snow Lake area, which is kind of on it's on one end of the hike. So what this means, and it's a less competitive area to get permits for, which is how we got lucky. So what this means though is we're still gonna hike the entire Enchantments, but we're doing it in 3 days. And today we're hiking to Snow Lake, which is where we can actually sleep. So with our permit, we can only sleep in Snow Lake. And then tomorrow we'll do some day hikes in the core area and then hike back to camp at Snow Lake. Then the last day we'll hike all the way through. So we're still gonna be able to experience the entire Enchantments. It's just not as ideal to sleep in Snow Lakes versus the core, but we're extremely lucky and happy to have gotten permits. And I think it's gonna be like 26 miles total instead of 18. Some people who don't get permits do the entire hike in one day. They start at one end, finish at the other, and either like park cars on each end or take the shuttle that takes them back to the other one. But that seemed like a lot. So we're really excited to spend 3 days here. We're like 1.6 miles in. So far, so good.
We're scoring some wildlife. We walked up to some mountain goats.
It is our first time ever seeing mountain goats, but we hear they can be a little mean.
about 6-ish to 8-ish miles in, something like that. We've gone up a couple thousand feet, and the first few miles are kind of boring to me, but now it's like starting to get really beautiful because we're finally at the first lake we come to, which is not a lake.
Yeah, so I think we're like 6 miles in, but we have to go at 8 miles total today to Snow Lake, but apparently it's not going to gain much more elevation, so we're getting a nice little break with the flatness. Yeah, and it's beautiful, and there's this dam that's just like spewing water. Like, yeah, it is crazy. It's like a waterfall on steroids.
Yeah. We made it to our home for the night, 8 miles down, 16 to go.
Woo!
We set up our tent and this is our view.
Not too shabby. Mentioned yesterday, the weather was not going to be ideal this weekend. It's starting to rain a little bit. It's really, really windy, and I'm cold.
It's an exciting day here at the campsite. It's windy and kind of chilly.
And we're wimps.
Yeah, so we're hanging out in the tent for a bit, and then we'll make dinner.
You sound so excited. Yeah, we're just chilling. It's nice though, because my shoulders hurt.
Yeah, it feels awesome.
Everything
to lay
hurts,
down.
so it's nice to just chill. We download some Netflix in case we get bored, or if it's rainy and we can't be outside. So one thing to know is you can't have campfires at this elevation, so no fires for us, which means we're gonna be cold.
Yeah,
so
that would be clutch right now.
But it's okay. The only thing I'm concerned about is that this is not the coldest it's going to get.
Yeah.
And I'm really cold, and I'm wearing like 4 layers, so that's okay. We have left our cave to make some dinner. And the best part is that it's so warm. It's like a face and a hand warmer.
Let's go. Day 1 of the Enchantments is in the books. We're about 8 miles in, and our whole mission today was to get to Snow Lake to find a camping spot, and I think we found a pretty sweet one, huh?
Awesome.
So we got here like 3:30ish, and so we had time to just kick it and relax. So we made not 1 but 2 backpacking meals each.
Lunch and dinner.
In
3 hours.
We earned it. So it was a fun day, but we're looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, so tomorrow is kind of like the big event. So we want to go explore the core zone, which is like the whole reason why we came here. It's where all the beautiful lakes are. So we're hoping that the weather holds up. Tomorrow is supposed to be like the worst weather day. So we're hoping that it's just cloudy, maybe a little rainy, but not pouring like it is outside right now.
Kind of teasing
yeah,
right now.
I don't know, you might be able to hear it, but it's raining pretty hard. We like got in a tent just in time.
Yeah.
So it should be a beautiful day, hopefully. And if not, we do get to go through that whole area on our last day. We just are going to be kind of booking it. So we wanted to have like one day to like explore it slower. So we'll see what happens, but it should be fun. But we're going to go to bed because it's pouring. And we want to try to get up for sunrise, but we're not 100% confident that there will be any sun to rise. So we will see.
Just waking up. Check it out. It's a beautiful morning. Psych.
We've decided to suck up the rain and finally make some coffee and breakfast because we've been just chilling in the tent for a couple hours, watching Netflix, reading/napping, which is fun. It's nice and relaxing, but I think we're getting
Get the day started.
a little bored. But we're not sure what our plan is for the day because it's raining. It's lightening up now. The view of the lake has cleared up a bit.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe it'll get better.
Looks really cool. It's like
like
slightly foggy.
Super
and you can
moody,
see the peaks and
Pacific Northwest feel. So the rain may not be ideal, but it's sure gonna be a memorable trip. We have decided to brave the elements and go for a little walk. Just a few of us are going. We're gonna try to go to the end of Snow Lake, maybe head up to the core. We don't really know. We're just gonna see how we feel and how bad the weather gets.
Don't have the proper rain gear, so kind of getting wet. We have a rain jacket.
But he's wearing shorts.
I have shorts because I left like an extra layer of clothes in the tent so that they don't get soaked, and I have something dry later when we get back. So we'll see. Ill prepared, but whatever.
This isn't the Enchantments experience we visualized in our head, but it's very memorable and it is fun. And who knows, maybe tomorrow will be better.
We are about to walk up to our first lake in the Enchantments hike.
The terrain's even changed. It's way less like foresty,
Yeah.
a lot more rocky, which is what we envision when we think of the Enchantments.
Yeah, this
So
is what you come to see, what we're about to enter into.
I'm excited. The rain stopped, so you can actually see a few
The
things.
fog's kind of clearing out, but it's still kind of lingering, so it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, so this is Lake Vivian, the first lake if you're headed in from Snow Lakes.
Yeah.
Cool. It's crazy because you walk up like this huge hill and like you don't expect there to be just a lake like flat right here. You think they'd be like down more.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
We just climbed up this giant like boulder, not boulder, but very rocky terrain.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite, as everyone
bam.
probably knows by now.
Here
I
it
did not
is.
love it. We did it, guys! Woo!
Isn't this gorgeous?
This is awesome!
Yeah.
Oh wow, that peak's so beautiful. One of my favorite things about fall in the Pacific Northwest are the larches that they're yellow in the fall, and it's so beautiful. And there's some over there that are starting to change. So I'm hoping as we go through the core area more, which I think we're doing tomorrow, we're still kind of working out all of our plans, but I'm hoping we see more because it's so beautiful. But yeah, this is definitely fall weather. It's a tad chilly. I know some people who came here last weekend and they got like sunburns and they were wearing shorts. It's very sunny. It's a very different experience than just a week ago.
I did not think I was gonna get it.
Woo! Go Yvonne!
Yeah.
Save the day! Save the planet!
Okay, so I thought the lens was, or the mirror inside the camera was foggy or something, so I took the lens off, and this was too close to the edge of the lens, and it slipped off and slipped into the water, and it was hanging out there down on a rock, and Yvonne saved the day and scrambled down there with a stick and scooped it up.
In the loop, and then as I started to pick it up, I was like, oh my gosh, the water's gonna like push it off, and it's gonna go further down, I'm just gonna lose it, it's gonna be worse. And then it came up out of the water.
I'm just very glad that it was not the lens that fell in the water. That would have sucked. And thank God for Yvonne for going to get it for us.
Yay! Woo!
Thank you.
Thank you.
So when we were up at the lake, the camera died. The battery just got too cold, I guess. But anyways, we turned around at that point anyways, because hopefully tomorrow the weather will be a little bit better, and we wanted to save the rest of it for the better weather. So
Yeah, it was getting like really windy and cold. So the
Yeah.
camera was like, I'm done. And we were like, we're
Yeah.
done too.
Yep.
So our plans have kind of changed for tomorrow. So originally we were going to backpack in to Snow Lake yesterday, spend all day today exploring the core area, then tomorrow hike all the way out through the core, down Asgard Pass by Kolchak Lake and exit that way. However, we saw a park ranger, and a funny story about that, we forgot our permits at first,
Yeah.
and we turned around like a third of a mile
Yeah.
in to get our permits, and thank God we did, because we actually got stopped by a ranger.
He stopped us and asked us, like, hey, you guys have your permits? And so we showed him, and everything was cool. And we weren't sure if like we needed like the group leader with
Yeah,
us.
because Christy
but,
wasn't with us.
Yeah, but it was no big deal.
So yeah, we're really glad we went back for
Yeah.
those. So note, always have your permit, whether you're like a day hiker or overnight. I think you have to have some sort of permit.
They're gonna ask.
But when we talked to him, he was like, yeah, we were asking about weather, and he said, So yeah, I'm pretty confident it's snowing at Asgard Pass right now. I would not recommend going down it tomorrow. Even though the weather might be fine tomorrow, it could like be icy or slick. And he's like, it's already really hard. It's kind of like a slab at first to go down. He's like, and if that's icy, it's gonna, with packs on, it's going to really suck.
Yeah, then it's just like rocks and dirt, but really steep. And he said it takes him 2 hours to get down with his pack in really good conditions. So no telling how long or how treacherous it would be for us.
We actually haven't explained Asgard Pass yet. So that is like kind of one of the things this hike is known for, besides like the core lakes and stuff. It's 2,000 feet change in elevation. So if you're going down, it's 2,000 feet down. If you're going up, 2,000 feet up in 3/4 of a mile.
Yeah.
So not even in a mile. So everyone says it's so hard, even just without backpacks. So with like full on 30-pound backpacks, oof. So he didn't scare us, but he kind of made us rethink our plan a bit.
Yeah.
So our plan now is we went to the first lake today. We're gonna hopefully leave camp at 5 a.m. tomorrow with just the day packs that we have. Go all the way through, or most of the way through, the core area until Asgard Pass, or maybe a little bit before. Turn around, come back, pack up our camp area.
Hopefully
and then,
by 1 or 2-ish.
Yeah, and then leave out of Snow Lakes.
Go back the way we came.
It's kind of a bummer we don't get to go down Asgard Pass, because I feel like it's like
a badge of honor kind of thing.
Yeah, like
you truly got the true experience.
Yeah, like it feels like you didn't really do the whole Enchantments if you didn't do it, but safety's number one, and we have Christy and Jackson had never backpacked before this trip.
Yeah, this is a pretty epic trip for your first backpacking trip.
So one, we don't want to put them in like something that's kind of sketchy. Yeah. I hate, as I've said in multiple vlogs, I hate
Imagine
like boulder
her going
stuff.
down that.
So I already kind of felt nervous.
Yeah.
And it's not worth it. And we've been to Kolchak Lake before, which is at the bottom. It's beautiful. You can go there without hiking a ton. It's like 4 miles in or something. So I'm kind of sad to not see it again, but we have seen it. So it's okay. So I think this is a better plan. It's actually going to be like, was it like 19 miles tomorrow? I think 19 miles tomorrow. So it's going to be a really big day.
Yeah, we're going to be doing more mileage.
But less with our packs on.
Yeah, but less with our packs. And I think at the beginning of this, we said it was going to be 24 miles?
Or something
25?
like that. It'll be like 30 now,
and in actuality, if you go from end to end, it's 19.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll be doing about 25, 26.
And a lot of it tomorrow will be downhill. So
yeah, it'll be easier. The hardest part is getting up to those the other lakes up there.
Yeah.
But then when we come back, it'll be downhill, and then it'll be downhill out. So
sorry for our very long explanation, but
backpacker update.
It's like nothing has gone right on this trip, or gone as we had thought on this trip at all. So we just, now that we have like a better idea of what the rest of the trip will look like, we just thought we'd fill you guys in, because we keep feeling like we're lying. We're like, oh, we're gonna do this, and then like the weather changes it. So
I mean, we knew there was
some flexibility.
We knew there was gonna be weather, but I don't know. We're dealing with it.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
It's still
not
been a
gonna
blast.
be. It's not gonna be the Enchantments experience we visualize in our head, but I still think that we're gonna be like amazed by what we see tomorrow. If the first lake today was any indication. So we're kind of just gonna spend the rest of the night like eating, maybe watching some more Netflix and going to bed, because we're gonna get up really early. So it's probably the last of our vlogging for today. But tomorrow should, if the weather holds up, be really awesome.
Wake up call. It's 5 a.m. and we are headed to the core Enchantments. We made it back to the first lake. We're gonna check it out for a few minutes and then walk around the corner to the second lake and then have breakfast.
So far we can see more in the distance than we could yesterday. It's not like the sunniest day, but it's way clearer than yesterday. So things are looking positive.
It's freaking beautiful. Just made a pit stop at our second lake, Snow Creek Lake, and had a nice little breakfast there, and now we're gonna truck on.
Yeah, it's just around the corner from Lake Vivian, which is the first lake. However, we had to go up some kind of sketchy stuff to get to it. I thought it'd be a little bit easier, but it's beautiful and definitely worth it.
Yeah.
The water's like glass, there's like reflections. It's just
definitely a much better day today.
Yeah.
Although some fog rolls in, but it's kind of cool. It's just like patchy.
Yeah, it's kind of just getting stuck. The nice thing is once you hit the lakes, they're all really close together, so it doesn't take long to get between them. So some of the trail's pretty obvious, it's like a dirt path, but there are a lot of areas where it's really rocky and you have no idea where to go. So to look for these guys, these are cairns. It's just like rock stacks and they help guide the way. So far, they have not led us the wrong direction. We made it to Inspiration Lake, and this is going to be our stopping point for the day. Unfortunately, we don't have time to go any farther, so we have to turn around here, go back to camp, finish packing up, and then hike the 8 miles down to the Snow Lake trailhead where Yvonne and Jeffrey will drive us to the Kolchak Lake trailhead to get our van, and then we'll ride the bumpy road to Leavenworth and hopefully get food. So we have a lot ahead of us still.
Lots of mileage today. We're not even, probably not even, I know we're definitely not even halfway through it.
Maybe like a third.
Yeah, but the weather cooperated with us. It's been absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful out here. The trees are changing. Although we didn't get like that sunny summer, like swim in the lake weather, I'm really happy we got to see the trees changing because I think it just makes it extra beautiful to have like the yellows and the greens. So
for sure,
it's been stunning. I can see why they call it the Enchantments. It's very enchanting. The first lake that we went to today is right back there somewhere. We got so lucky that we started early because it was beautiful when we started and like the sun actually came up, and now it's just like socked in with fog. So sometimes getting up early sucks, but always worth it. It's definitely gonna be a little eerie going down though. We're about to get to the really hard part, so we're gonna focus for a bit so I don't fall. Maybe we'll check in before we get back to camp.
Made it back to camp. We're all packed up, and now it's time to go. 8 miles left. Oh my God. We made it down. Took us about 3 hours and 45 minutes to get down, and when we first started, it was raining and sprinkling, and
it was raining.
We got our jackets on and everything and pack covers, but other than that, it was pretty uneventful.
There was a rainbow, which was beautiful.
Yeah,
so that was
double
exciting.
rainbow.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was just painful.
Yeah, my knees feel like someone has taken a baseball bat and just like beat them.
Yeah.
Like they hurt so bad, and my feet hurt, and yeah, it was brutal at the end. Not gonna lie, but
I'm worn out. I don't know if
I'm so tired. We didn't have coffee today either.
No.
But guess what? We did it.
We did it.
Woo!
And now it's time to celebrate.
So even though the weather wasn't ideal the entire time and we didn't have like the best permit, the core permit, it was still an awesome weekend backpacking the Enchantments.
Yeah, for sure. Today and the whole trip was a crazy day. Lots of mileage. Today we had, what, 18?
I don't know, maybe 19 miles. We're not really sure.
And then in total, like 30-ish,
yeah.
30, 31. But man, it was a really awesome trip, and the views were just incredible.
Yeah, like the core area is just so different than many places we've hiked ever or in Washington.
Yeah.
So I can see why it's like such a hot spot people want to go to. And even where we camped, although it was more similar to places we've been in the past, like scenery wise, it was just gorgeous. We had an awesome camp spot.
Yeah, I think we want to do it again, but I think next time, it sounds crazy, but we want to do it like all in one day, which is like 19-ish miles, but like today we kind of had to rush through like the core part just because of how the timing worked out, but
and we'd probably still have to rush a little bit if we did it all in one day. However, before this weekend I thought that backpacking it was the best way to do it because you had more time, and I still think it is if you have like 4 days. We only had 3.
Yeah, that'd be the most ideal.
But after doing a lot of the hike today without our packs on, I think that the through hike, like the day hike, would be good because you don't have to carry the heavy backpack.
It makes it that much more difficult.
Yeah, the backpacks make it a lot harder. So, I don't know. We plan to write like a really detailed blog post soonish about kind of the mistakes we made, the different routes you can take, and just all the things we learned from this experience because it is a really popular thing people like to do in Washington. But yeah, it was incredible. It was so much fun, but we are really, really tired.
Yeah.
How you like the damn apples? It was a dark and stormy night. And there was a ghost! Ah!
And made a couple backpacking meals.
Who says you can't be fashionable and hike?